since becoming a mother, emotion has overcome me almost every day. I feel like I could burst into tears.
Do you?
Yeah.
Amazing.
I just will cry if my daughter makes me cry. So
I'm Alice, and I'm from the female lead.
Woo!
So nice to meet you both.
So nice to meet you.
I'm from the female lead, which is a charity that helps young women meet their role models. So it's so lovely to see you guys.
Aww.
Enola has always been ahead of her time. If she was a young woman living in 2026, what do you think she'd be fighting for?
Depends on what country.
It's true.
Yeah, that's true.
If you stand for nothing, you fall for anything, said Public Enemy.
I would say I think there's so much to be done for women and children in every country and in very different situations in every country as well. But I work closely with UNICEF in protecting, young girls' rights. And I think she would feel very strongly, Enola feels very strongly about education. So I think she would want to ensure that every young girl has the ability to get a full education.
I also noticed that the word emotional is used a lot to describe Enola, but she proved that being emotional doesn't change her, it becomes one of her greatest strengths. The word emotional is often used to describe women. What does that word mean to you?
I'm quite emotional.
You are. You really wear your heart on your sleeve. And I think that's also a really important thing, Alice, right? Like, we have men like Louis who are able to express themselves and not be afraid. I think society taught women to be these emotional, the words I've been called before when just simply expressing myself. And then it feels like there's a lot of pressure on men to not feel those things. And so it's really nice to be able to meet and work with, guys who are able to be really in touch with their emotions. And you're an actor, and there's not much else to it.
I think emotions are a bit of a superpower.
Yeah.
I think you don't want to have your life completely ruled by them, but they're fuel. They are literally what makes you feel alive. On a separate note, did you know that the word hysterical, which is a word often used to describe women, comes from the Greek word for uterus? And they used to say when a woman went mad, it was because her uterus, her womb, was moving about her body. That's what they used to say.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is horrible. I would say I am obviously an emotional person, and since becoming a mother, emotion has overcome me almost every day. I feel like I could burst into tears.
Do you?
Yeah.
Amazing.
And yet I think I've never been more proud to feel so emotional. Like, I don't care where I am, I just will cry if my daughter makes me cry. So it's just the very small things, and yet now I don't really care that I don't really apologize for being emotional.
Yeah, that's so nice. It kind of links with my next question, which I also like that Tewkesbury feels like he's choosing equality over tradition. Do you think that's a good example of allyship? And what some ways today men can support the women in their lives?
Yeah, I think it's a great example of allyships, and I think these guys are allies, certainly, and they meet on a friendship level, and they're honest with each other, even when it's tough, and I think that's quite special. I'd like to think we're allies in real life too.
Yes, I think so.
And my last question is something I really loved is that Enola worries about marriage could mean losing a part of her identity. And I love that she chooses to keep her surname. What do you think that says to young women about staying true to who they are?
It's funny. I ran into the same kind of conversation about my own last name, and holding on to that for me with my stage name and who I've become and what I've done long before being married means a lot to me. And then also bringing on my husband's name in my personal life means a lot to me because I'm choosing, he's choosing to be mine, I'm choosing to be his. And so I think that there's some beauty in having both. But I think it doesn't define you. Marriage doesn't define you. Your last name doesn't define you. That's the whole point of this is like, she's like, what does it mean to be a Holmes anyway? It doesn't matter. Even if I'm not, taking on Tewkesbury's last name, what does it even mean to be a Holmes? And actually just being a Enola is kind of what matters. You don't belong to anyone. You have to find your own 2 feet, even within your own family. So yeah, I think that's the most important thing. it's kind of finding out who you are first.
Thank you so much. I think that's all the time I have, but it's been so lovely to meet you both.
Thank you, Alice.
Too. You're great.
killed.
Yeah, for real.
Thank you so much.